$155 million. That is the latest figure of how much taxpayers are ponying up for some federal employees to be released from their regular jobs to do union work, known as official time.
They work exclusively for the union. They still draw full pay and benefits from the federal government.
Millions and millions of dollars, allowed by the 1978 Civil Service Reform Act.
This is a provision in law that allows federal employees to be released from their regular jobs to do exclusively union work.
The idea was to make a better workplace environment to lead to a more productive workforce.
So we've got people on for 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years who have not worked in their regular jobs, who have not done the job they were hired to do, but have been on full-time official time representing their unions for decades.
The Washington Examiner watchdog team began their investigation into official time back in November 2012 when they filed Freedom of Information Act requests at 17 of the biggest agencies that are the biggest users of official time. Some, including the Departments of Defense and Justice, couldn't provide any information about who is taking official time and which unions they work for. More than 700 federal employees spent at least half of their time working for unions instead of in their government jobs in 2012, including 558 workers who spent more than 1,500 hours on official time, 150 who spent at least 1,000 hours on official time, and 232 workers who spent at least 500 hours doing union duties instead of the government work they were hired to perform.
We've got pharmacists, we've got nurses, we've got lawyers, we've got scientists scattered all across the federal government who aren't doing those jobs. By far the biggest user of official time is the Department of Veterans Affairs. They have about 270, almost 275 people who they list as being on full-time official time release.
One of the permitted uses of official time is lobbying Congress. They lobby Congress for more money for their members and agencies, which means more personnel for their union.
There are a few people who say this is a monumental waste of taxpayer money and it needs to be changed, but their bills don't go anywhere because there's just not much momentum and there's not really much incentive for either the elected officials or the agency heads to get into a big battle with politically powerful unions.
Congressman Phil Gingrey, a Republican from Georgia, is sponsor of a bill to limit the hours unions receive. He says they spend all day long while the taxpayers are paying their salaries and all they are doing is work on behalf of the union. My bill doesn't take away their rights, it simply says that the unions themselves should pay their salaries, not we the taxpayers.
I think the most important thing to remember is this is something that is costing taxpayers millions and millions of dollars.
For WashingtonExaminer.com, I'm Lisa Rule.